My name is Janet. Happy New Year, first of all. I shouldn't forget that it's a new year and it's our first show in 2026. Okay, today is the first show we're having in 2026, but I have the huge privilege of having the STP National Coordinator, Miss Busayomi Akinyemi, join us. Hi, Miss Akinyemi. Thank you so much for coming. Now I can see that she's here. Thank you so much. This is going to be how do we put it now, as fast as possible. Hello,
Thank
ma'am.
you. I'm
Please.
with you. Can you hear me clearly, please?
Yes, I can hear you clearly, but can you hear me?
Yes, very clearly. I can hear you.
I sincerely apologize for keeping you. It was not intentional, but I thank you so much for holding on.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and read your profile. Again, I promise I won't keep you for too long. We're not known for keeping people for too long. Okay, now a brief profile for Miss Akinyemi. Miss Busayomi Akinyemi, a biochemistry graduate of Adekunle Ajasin University. Okay, Akungba Akoko. Please pardon me, that's not my mother tongue. So as I go along, I'm going to be making mistakes. Please allow that, please. Okay, Akungba Akoko of
And
Ondo State.
Uncle,
Akungba Akoko, okay. Ondo State began career as a classroom teacher and went on to become a teacher in a specialized classroom setting, a behavioral modification class, and Miss Akinyemi, the big English, plenty here. Okay. And a psychosocial, intellectual, and emotional academy of a correctional center. Okay. Her passion for results earned her the name Sister Tama amongst peace ambassadors, inmates, and volunteers of Prison Fellowship Nigeria. Ms. Akinyemi has served in various capacities in Prison Fellowship Nigeria as personal assistant to the emeritus executive director. I believe that's Dr. Is he a doctor now? Benson Iwagu, an
barrister.
anchor, barrister. Okay, an anchor for the on-air restorative show of Prison Fellowship Nigeria. I remember that show, Healing Justice with Victims, ex-inmates, social workers, as well as solicitors and justice advocates. Ms. Akin has facilitated and co-facilitated various volunteers and inmates leaders trainings across various custodial centers in Nigeria. Now, being a graduate of biochemistry, her love for research on inmate environment and behavior birthed the Atama Club, a club tradition that loosens inmates as well as increase their engagement and outspoken expressions. Ms. Akinyemi has in the introductory certification in trauma healing, mediation, and advocacy, as well as presentation skills. Of course, we see that. Now, currently, she serves in the capacity of STP, that's the Sycamore Tree Project, Justice and Peace, TLW, the Listener's Way, National Program Coordinator for Prison Fellowship Nigeria. I apologize if I jumble this up. But thank you so much for joining us, everyone. If you're watching this, please let's make welcome Miss Akinyemi to Conversations for Change program. Welcome again, man. God bless you for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Now, without wasting too much of your time, could you tell us how you joined Prison Fellowship Nigeria and when? How did you join Prison Fellowship Nigeria and when?
All right, thank you. So I joined Prison Fellowship Nigeria in, to be precise, April 2021, and that was through a volunteer then, and she was also a consultant for Prison Fellowship Nigeria, and with the person of Dr. Mrs. Aderunke Shobodu. She introduced me, and then I joined as and I joined the organization then, and then the journey has actually been seamless and has been interesting since then. Thank you.
Of course, you can see that. I remember meeting you several times, and your personality hooked me. I found myself several times asking God, when can I be as sharp and outspoken as this madam here? Okay, now, as the national coordinator, I believe you are the best person to answer the question, what is STP? What's the Sycamore Tree Project? What's the Sycamore Tree?
Thank you very much. So Sycamore Tree Project, Justice and Peace, I'll call it, it is an in-prison program of Prison Fellowship International. Prison Fellowship International actually brought in Sycamore Tree to its national affiliate in the year 1996. And Nigeria, as one of the national affiliates of Prison Fellowship International, started the Sycamore Tree Project Justice and Peace in 2016. So the program, Sycamore Tree, is based on the principles of restorative justice. And then what is the program all about? It is a program that brings inmates and then unrelated victims to meet in an encounter where they discuss. They get to discuss they discuss about the crime, they discussed about the impact of the crime, and they also discuss how to repair the crime. So this is the program, an in-prison program that goes through correctional centers all over Nigeria. I would say presently now we are in 24 states in the country, and then we actually have the mind of expanding. So this program brings victims and non-related victims and offenders together. They get to discuss, they get to see the impact of the crime that has been committed, and then they get to, this is the way forward. How do we move from here? How do we go from here? That is the Sycamore Tree. There are a lot of beautiful things about the Sycamore Tree because it is a program that appeals to the senses of the offenders. Permit me now when I use the word offenders. I know that there are so many people that are incarcerated and then they do not even know the reason why they are there. So let me just use the word inmates. This particular program, Sycamore Tree Project Justice and Peace, appeals to the senses of inmates in that it shows them if they had actually committed an offense. This is the effect of what you have committed. It is usually known that a crime, when committed, people usually think that it affects only the victim. Reverse is the case because it affects not only the victims. The offender is affected, the family of the offender is affected, the families of the victims, they are also affected. The community as a whole is affected in a wide range of ways, and this program appeals to them. See what you have done, see how it has affected other people. And there's been a lot of great testimonies where inmates actually come to themselves and see, really, this thing, I just stepped on this man. I didn't know stepping on a man could actually affect the children. I didn't know stepping on a man can affect the family. So, and then it's made them to actually take responsibility for the offense that they've committed. So Sycamore Tree is a behavioral modification program. It is a program of in-prison program of Prison Fellowship International, and then it is also a program that also appeals to the inmates or the offenders now, and also help the victims to find a way to actually heal up. So when you're talking about Sycamore, it is way beyond just offender. The victims, the community as a whole. It is an inclusive program that affects all. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that robust answer. I want to indirectly ask if I can say that you have described Sycamore Tree Project's approach to rehabilitation and reintegration of offenders.
We can actually still go in there with I just explained what Sycamore 3 is and how it causes rehabilitation and reintegration. I don't know if that is a question now and if I can answer that.
I'm asking you to put us through the process from the beginning to do you go that far to reintegrate offenders to the society? Because I know there are some graduates. I have met some graduates of the program. Some come from outside the facility into. So I'm saying just help us describe the project from the start of the project to the end? Give us like an overview of the project, please.
Thank you very much. So, the Sycamore 3, the Sycamore 3 Project Justice and Peace, I would say it actually helps in the rehabilitation and then in the reintegration. This is what it does. So, ignorance many times they say is a killer. When you do not know something, I would say that thing actually is ahead of you. That thing is bigger than you. That thing is stronger than you. So many times offenders, they really do not know the effect of what they have done to someone. They really don't know how the effect, how it affects the victim, how the victim is affected, how the family member is affected, and how it affects the community. Let me take for instance, a victim can actually be somebody that he was sitting and an offender just moves by and just maybe consciously just pressed the leg, mashed the leg, or step on the toes. You step on the toes of one person. Now, this stepping on the toes of another person might actually get worse if there is a wound. The person has family that is taken care of. The person has families is taken care of, and then he has a lot of people that are connected to him. Stepping on the toe of a person that has resulted in a wound might make that person not be able to go to work. And this means that the family in a way are affected, in that he's not able to take care of the family. The people that are connected, the children, in sometimes they are not even able to, their school fees are not being paid because the father could not provide it. At that period, he is not himself. He cannot go on to actually work as he used to. So this has affected the children. This has affected the family. All of the people that are depending on the victim at that period of time when that crime or that incident has happened, they are directly or indirectly affected. So the Sycamore 3 project now, how it comes in is that it brings it to the offender. This is what has actually happened. You think it is I just stepped on a toe. It is way beyond stepping on a toe. Aside from the fact that the offender is hurting, the victim now is hurting. The victim is actually in pain. A whole lot of people are affected. I've had testimonies whereby offenders, they said, really, do you say this simple act of mine, is this what it has resulted into? This simple thing that I've done, is this the grievous impact it has had on other people? And that has brought them to themselves and say, really, if this thing can affect other people like this, crime is not something I should engage in. Crime is not something I should partake in. It is not something that should be advised or that should be taken up. It is not something that anyone should involve in, because it has so many detrimental effects on the community as a whole. And so this many times we've had many of them, they have testimonies from there. There are a lot of transformation. Another example is a man that has determined in his mind that anywhere he goes, wherever he sees police officers, he's going to kill them. I have a man in the custodial center, that is at the Kuje facility, that told me that what happened was a land issue, and then it has led to the death of so many people. He said he's going to revenge, that he is going to kill police officers, is everybody that is attached to his arrest, everybody that is attached to his imprisonment, to his incarceration, is going to deal with them. But after going through this program, going through responsibility, taking responsibility, going through forgiveness, going through telling my stories, victims of crime, they are brought in. They will tell their stories. This actually appeals to the offenders. And then they said, yes, this is not something I should engage in. So to answer that question, Sycamore 3 Project Justice and Peace has in way more than anything contributed to the rehabilitation and reintegration of offenders, even the violent ones. There's been testimonies of that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for answering that. And moving on to my next question, you've started giving examples. I don't have to ask if it has changed lives, because you talked about like wrote the ripple effect. But do we have like a total number? Do we have an estimate of the number of lives that this program has impacted? And I also mentioned earlier that I have seen a number of people who were in the program but have been released come back. Do you have like a total overview of the impact, the number of people that this program has impacted, people that have graduated, let me, for the lack of a better word, from the program? Do we have like a number, a figure?
Okay,
Thank you.
so thank you very much. The Sycamore Tree Project Justice and Peace has affected over 40,000 people. So when I say 40,000 people, that means that a participant might actually start this program, and due to a lot of factors, maybe is discharged, is released and all, it might not be able to continue, or you might not be able to finish up the program. But we have some of these inmates that come back and say, yes, this program that I have partaken in, for many that are transferred to other facilities, they continue there. We have them, they continue there, and they will say, yes, I have actually started this program, let me continue here. So we have over 40,000 people, participants, that has gone through the Sycamore Tree Project Justice and Peace for the use of value. 34,118 peace ambassadors, they have graduated from the Sycamore Tree Project Justice and Peace. This program started in 2016, and then we are presently in the 10th year of the program. So we have 34,118 participants. Call them peace ambassadors, because once they graduate from this program, they become peace ambassadors. One of the things they learn in the program is that at the end of the day, they are to start replicating what they've learned. They are to start giving a helping hand to another person. They are to start helping another person, and then what they've learned, they need to actually replicate it. So yes, we have those peace ambassadors.
Thank you for those.
Steve, of the victim participants.
No, go on. I'm sorry. Go on.
Yes, I'm saying that these are the peace ambassador, because we have a lot of stakeholders in this program. As we have the victims, we have the inmate participants; those are the offenders now, and then we have the community, we have our facilitators. They are also, many of the facilitators, they've shared their testimony of it, that yes, this program, I really don't know this. I really don't know some of these things until I have gone through the program. So victims that have participated in this program over years, that's why I said we have over 40,000 people that has been impacted with this program, both inmates, victims, and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that robust response. And speaking of facilitators, I was coming to volunteers. We have volunteers, right, across these 24 states that you mentioned. How do they come in, and what role do they play? Could you give us an insight to that? The facilitators now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we have a pool of our volunteers from different churches. Like, we know that Prison Fellowship Nigeria is a trans-denominational organization. So we are not just based on one church. A group of churches come together to actually volunteer for this program. So these volunteers, there is a training that is being done for them. Once they've actually shown their interest that they want to be part of this great movement, there is a volunteer training that will be conducted for them. And once there is in phases. Once they go through this program, then the volunteer training actually include all of the prison rules, how they must actually conduct themselves while in a prison environment, what Prison Fellowship Nigeria stands for, what Prison Fellowship Nigeria is all about, the programs of Prison Fellowship Nigeria, and so on and so forth. They are taught the statement of faith, the vision, the mission statements. That's what the volunteer training actually, that's what it entails. And then they are able to actually go through all of this. After the volunteers training is what we call the facilitators training. So it's possible you are a volunteer in Prison Fellowship Nigeria and you are not a facilitator. Now, a facilitator is someone that actually go for the in-prison in-prison programs, or go for the counseling, go for the in-prison programs. For example, the Sycamore Tree Project Justice and Peace. Now you've actually gone through the volunteer training. There will be need for you to be trained on what the Sycamore Tree Project Justice and Peace is all about. And then when you are trained, this training actually involves you learning the methodology of the program, you learning how many weeks, you learning the metrics, how many numbers, what is expected of you to do, you learning when you get into the prison system, when you get into the prison environment, how do you conduct the program? So that is what that facilitator training, that's what we get to look at. We get to look at the standards of programs during the facilitators training. We get to look at, okay, these are the what is expected, these are what should be done and what ought not to be done. So that is how they come in a wide range of ways. They come in to actually run the in-prison programs across our correctional service, and then our correctional centers, and then across the state chapters. We have our volunteers. They are there. The facilitators go in for the in-prison program, and then of finances. They help in terms of finance. They contribute financially. Many of the gifting kinds we have in our programs these days is actually due to the help of the volunteers. They go, they give their time, they give their energy in saying that this program is actually run as it's supposed to be. Another thing that our volunteers do is that they do counseling. We have counseling programs in our correctional centers that the counsel inmates, the counsel offenders, and even and these are on the field job, thanks to our volunteers, because they are mostly they're on the field, and then they are the one running all of this program. Discipleship programs, they are the one that conducts discipleship programs for our participants, because for example, in Sycamore 3, there is what we call growth. This growth is actually after going through Sycamore Tree Project. What other things can the participants do? A whole range of things. We've had participants of STP that after going through STP, they become the pastors in themselves. They become leaders in themselves. There is a great testimony from Afiko Custodial Center, and the correctional officer said that he has known this particular boy, he has known him, this particular person, he has known him for being a tyrant, being he's just everywhere. Even correctional officers cannot talk to him. He's always fighting with everybody. He said after this particular person has gone through the program, after he has gone through the Sycamore Tree Project, he's the one, when two people now fight, he will call them. No, you are not supposed to do this. You are not supposed to do that. You are not supposed to do this. You are not supposed to do that. So that is the work of our volunteers. They are the ones that are on the field. They support spiritually, they support financially, and then they do a whole lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that response, especially the testimony. I was very, very elated. I don't know if you saw that when you mentioned Afiko Custodial Center. Is one of the LGAs in my state. Thank you so much. I'm so knowing the impact of this program. Okay, I want you to talk to us briefly about the challenges. I've never seen any of these programs or heard any of these programs without its challenges. I know they have challenges. Could you run us through these challenges and how you've been able to, let me use the word, muddle through them? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So for the Sycamore Tree Project, Justice and Peace, we have, I will not call it an outright challenge, but it's something we've been, over time, we've actually looked at ways to come into it, to solve it. The issue of victim participant. I had said earlier that we have victim participants on this program, that they come, they share their story during one of the sessions of the Sycamore Tree Project Justice and Peace. Many of the victims we have, it might actually be due to fear or due to a range of reasons and a range of factors. You will see our volunteers, our facilitators reaching out to them, come share your story with us. A problem shared is actually solved partially. Come and tell us what has happened. You're not only contributing to yourself, you're not only relieving yourself of stress, but you're also contributing positively to the life of the incarcerated individual. We've had many victims that they have that fear in them, not to actually come and then share their story in this program. That is a challenge that most of our facilitators actually face. And peace. Another challenge that we have, you will say, for every work to actually move on smoothly, there is need for funding. There is need for funding. I must appreciate our international body, PFI, and individuals. I must appreciate partners of Prison Fellowship Nigeria that are actually working through this program. But looking through what Sycamore 3 project has been over time, we had only reached about 41% out of the whole the prison population we have in Nigeria. Prison Fellowship, the Sycamore 3 project has only reached out to 41% of the prison population. And so if we must actually reach out to the other hand, there is need for funding, there is need for volunteer, because restorative justice is the program, like I said, is based on restorative justice, and because of that, it is supposed to be run by volunteers from outside. Even though we have our co-facilitators inside the facilities, our inmate leaders inside the facilities, it is expected that Sycamore 3 project is largely facilitated by the external facilitators. And so we actually, the issue of people, yes, our volunteers has been doing a great deal of work. They've been working, but we still actually need a whole lot of volunteers for this program, since it is really volunteer based. Yes, we really need a lot of volunteers. So those are challenges that over time we've been managing, and thanks to the leadership of Prison Fellowship Nigeria, Dr. Sado, and the management, the Board of Trustees as a whole, they've actually been looking at ways for us to navigate how we need to reach out to other facilities. Recently, towards the end of last year, a training was conducted in the Anambra State, and 4 facilities were actually reached out to. We have the Aguata facility, Nnewi, Onitsha. All of them, they were reached out to, thanks to the efforts of the leadership of this organization. So more is actually still needed based on the funding and all. Thank you very much.
Every time we get to funding, I'm reminded of my work, because a lot of awareness to get sponsors, to get funding. I'm on partnership now. We need quite a lot of awareness, and one of the ways we can do that is by having this program. So thank you for sharing the challenges you're facing on the program or project now, and how we as a body are addressing them. Of course, we have the best board of trustees in the world. So I want to talk about partnership. Now, you mentioned PFI, right? You also mentioned volunteers, mostly from member churches. But do we have other partners? If no, apart from PFI and volunteers from member churches, how do people apply to be partners?
Okay, so we have a range of partners aside PFI. PFI is we are affiliated with PFI, and PFI has been doing a great deal. And then the churches, they are our volunteers. They've been helping also with this program. They are partners with us. They are collaborating with us. Another partner that we have is the correctional service. The correctional service has actually been, because the program in the first place would not hold if the prison doors is not opened onto us. So the correctional service, the correctional service, they really opened their doors onto us. we have a kind of great relationship with them, a symbiotic relationship, I would say, that over the years is being refreshed every time. We were at the at Anambra and at the Onitsha facility. Even the most of the correctional officers, they don't bring in their phone. They won't bring in their phone and then they will and into the facility. But we have our volunteers. That to me is due to relationship. One of our volunteers came in with phone and said, we will work this thing out. You want pictures? We will give you pictures. So the correctional service has actually been, they've over the years, they've collaborated and they partnered with us in ensuring that the reformation, rehabilitation, and reintegration of inmates through the Sycamore 3 project is possible. So another partner, I would say, recently is our, I think the executive director is here, and then he will be able to say much on that. There was a partnership on restorative justice, and I would say it has a lot to do with Sycamore 3 project being based on restorative justice principles. Dr. Sadosa, the partnership with RULAC, I just mentioned that to say that. Idisa.
I am not sure he can join us, but
Oh,
I'll
okay.
wait. I'm not sure,
Okay.
but I'll wait to see if he will join. So you've mentioned ROLAC. You've mentioned ROLAC, Nigeria Correctional Service, and there is individuals, volunteers, member touch. Okay, but how can organizations partner to join this program? Can they just, check out our social media pages or come to our office here in Abuja to become a partner? How can we? Yes, Edie just confirmed that he cannot join us.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so our organizations can partner. We have a range of we have state chapters. So every organization in different sectors and then in different chapters of different states can actually join. We have a state chapter whereby we have the chairman, we have other executives, and then we have a whole lot. Thank you very much, sir. I think Edie has responded that ROLAC is a great partner. Yes. So we have state chapters that have executives. We also have we have them. So if organizations want to partner with us, they don't actually necessarily have to come to the Lagos office. What if they are not based in Lagos? So what they can do is check us on all our social media platforms, and then in a case of you want to reach out to one-on-one, there are phone numbers that they can actually reach out to, and then they will be directed to what state chapters or who they need to speak to. Recently, there's a volunteer, an intending volunteer reached out to the national office through the office line and was asking, she's in Abeokuta, she wants to join the Ogun State chapter. So how individuals and organizations can actually partner with us is through our social media handles. All that we do is actually on that platform. And then we have phone lines, which I believe we can actually reel out before the end of this call. And so they can reach out, and then they'll be directed on how to actually partner with us and who to reach out to. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. I'm excited to hear about the lines because I remember something happened when I was in Lagos and social media was buzzing about a testimony from an inmate. And I really, really, really tried to get, of course, I had limited knowledge then. So I'm sure everyone and more, those that will join us or watch this conversation later will want to know how they can partner with us and which line or who to reach out to. Okay, thank you so much for that. I want to get very, very personal with you now, and that's to talk about the lessons that this program has taught you. Do you have any lesson?
Okay.
Yes, as you've worked on this and working on this program, do you have personal lessons or impacts that you've gotten from this program? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so talking about lessons, this program had actually taught me a whole lot of lessons, and one of it is that change is actually possible. Transformation is possible. Being a better version of yourself is possible. I get to actually have this experience when I go into the facilities and I have to relate one-on-one with the inmates. There've been a whole lot of them. Some of them they are there, like I said, for what they didn't know. A whole lot of them they had actually committed the offense, and then they get to open up. They get to really talk about what has actually brought them, what led them into what they've done. And Sycamore Tree Project, we really let you know that the fact that a person has put his purse in a place, you think the place is wrong, is not the reason why you should go and steal. Sycamore Tree Project will make you see that the fact that you have a lot of challenges, you will always have an option. You just choose not to have an option. So personal lessons regarding growth. I've actually grown, starting taking up this program as a program coordinator. There are a series of phases having had to a lot of building, I would say, permits me to actually make that reference to the emeritus executive director and then our current executive director. There are lots of projects that were committed into my hands to actually see through. You read from the profile that I started as a classroom teacher, and then I had to come into this phase. So it was a great learning curve for me. It was a great learning curve whereby I had to learn how to deal with people. I had to learn how to deal with justice impacted individuals. I had to learn how to deal with victims. So my scope and I would say my scope was just broadened through this program. I've learned growth. I've learned that whatever is it that I'm determined and I make determination to actually pursue, God helping me, God guiding me, I will actually scale through, and then I will be able to achieve that. So a lot of lessons actually been instilled in me. The Taiwo that is talking now, I would say when I first started, I won't talk like this. So I actually learned that it's on the job. It's part of the on the job trainings and all that I have to learn. So I've learned growth. I've learned that you can be a better version of yourself. So I've learned a great deal of lessons. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for that. And I want to say that no one volunteers for Prison Fellowship Nigeria for free. One way or the other, we all learn on the job, and you've just confirmed that for me. Okay, thank you so much for that. I want to ask a last question, but thank you everyone for joining. I would like to acknowledge people on this live. One of them, of course, the ED, the executive director, the co-hosts of this program. Thank you, Mr. Dekunle Yinka 581 for joining. I
Mr.
see.
Adekunle is one of our facilitators. He's from Osho. Thank you very much.
Came because of you. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, there is Favor Abiodun Akorede. I believe that's another first timer on this program. Thank you for coming and following us. There is Dumininu. Oh God, I'm bad with pronunciations. Please pardon me. Dumininu Olux. Thank you for joining this program. I see Jason Leverton 23. Thank you also for coming. There is Barrister Benson Iwagu. I have a query, I'm sure, for the way I addressed him earlier. Thank you so much for joining. I see Banti, Waya, oh my God, NDF backup. Thank you for coming. There is Deng Tiep, Nyan Deng Tiep. Thank you for coming. And I see Mr. Victor. Ha. Ms. Akinyemi, you came loaded, though. Your people came. Your people join us. I did not want to forget to mention Call Me Geeky. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you come next time we drag Ms. Akinyemi to our conversation. Thank you all for coming. And special thank you before we go for the last question, of course. Ms. Akinyemi, thank you so much for agreeing to come on the line and talk about the Sycamore Tree project. I know you are very, 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 very busy, but you chose to come and talk to us about the Sycamore Tree project. Thank you so much.
Thank
Okay.
you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's a great privilege.
Okay, back to the last question. Please ignore the background noise. I was talking about I want to talk about the future. Now, how do you see the Sycamore Tree project contributing to the broader conversation around restorative justice and rehabilitation?
Thank you very much. So, Prison Fellowship International had actually laid a foundation. They've laid a great foundation for us. The national ministries, Nigeria inclusive, should follow in that. Prison Fellowship International has partnered with the United Nations, and then they actually have a say when it regards restorative justice. So for Nigeria, I would say restorative justice can actually be broadened. What we have in our correctional centers today is we have a pseudo victim, a victim that is not related with the offender, and they come, they discuss. What I'm looking at for Sycamore Tree Project Justice and Peace is that we would have direct victims come, and then they come and have a platform of conversation, a platform for healing, a platform for through a platform for true encounter. I would say the sessions and what we have over time is actually working greatly. Now, if we can have a non-related victim, and we have tremendous testimonies, we have a lot of heartwarming testimonies all the way from Zamfara, from Sokoto, all the way from Zaria, Kafancha, in all of in the eastern part of the country, in the west, we have all of this testimony when we have unrelated victims. How much more will it be when we have direct victims? It's really, really going to be robust. And that is what Prison Fellowship Nigeria, I would say we are looking at, that we will actually build up. We will build up a community-based kind of relationship that everybody will be a part of it. The community will be a part of it. The victims will be a part of it. Even ex inmates, they'll be part of it. It is a community we are building. In that, in no time, Sycamore Tree Project will actually be a restorative justice program. It is a restorative justice program, but it is just that we have unrelated victims. At this time, we'll be having direct victims to offenders, and then we will see how the program will be more robust. Testimonies we actually is going to be much by the time we have this. So I see Sycamore Tree projects in the broader restorative justice, rehabilitation, reintegration, reformation of all inmates across our correctional centers in Nigeria in no time. It's a matter of time. We're actually working towards it. I see Sycamore Tree Project, Justice and Peace, having a victim engagement, a victim platform whereby we really don't have to source out for victims because everybody is into it. It is a community-centered program. I see Prison Fellowship Nigeria, I see Sycamore Tree Project, Justice and Peace going to the fact that both the justice, the advocates, everybody is bought into it, and then we are not looking for volunteers because it is a you and me program. So I see the future in Sycamore Tree Project, Justice and Peace. Thank you.
You were so descriptive, so well, as in so much so that I'm beginning to see that future with you. I'll also join you in prayers for that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much again for coming. I believe that with that answer, we've come to the end of this program. But I want to ask if any of our guests, our special guests on this program, have any questions for Ms. Akinyemi. Okay, ED's there's a comment from ED. He says, "Thank you, Taiwo. This is a great conversation. Thank you so much." Okay. Do we have any questions for Miss Akinyemi? She's a very, very busy person. Though. We may not see her to ask any question again. If you have any question about this program or the Sycamore Tree project, please feel free to ask. You can also send us DMs. Oh, that's true. Mr. Kemi, you give us numbers that we can call for the office, so that anyone that needs adequate information about the program can be, adequate,
All
please.
right.
Thank
All
you.
right. So we have two lines here that anyone that has questions or you have inquiries to make concerning Sycamore Tree or all other programs of Prison Fellowship Nigeria, that you can reach out to. Yes, the first one is I will type it in, and then I will also
Call it
make
out.
it available for everyone. 081, we
Okay.
have 08103
Yes.
01 1563.
Okay.
08103
Yeah.
01 1563.
Okay.
Another number 633.
Okay.
Did we get that? Another one is 090
Yeah.
14
Yeah.
532151. I've dropped it. So those are the lines in case you have inquiry. Those are the lines you can reach out to.
Hey, I just screenshot or screen grabbed. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Future viewers, you are in for a treat. Thank you to our current viewers. Many of you started this, joined us from the beginning of this program till the end of this program. Thank you very, very much for joining. Our next show comes up on the 29th. We have a special guest coming. This year is packed with special guests, but we're not going to reveal the person yet until later. Okay, on this note, we are going to be saying bye bye and extending a very, very special. I will stop thanking Ms. Akinyemi for joining this program. Thank you so much. We hope we're going to see you in the next live. We will not look for you. Please come and join us and support the next live. Okay, on this note, again, this one is the final one. Thank you so much for coming, and bye bye, everybody. Thank you, and bye bye. See you on the 29th by 6 p.m. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you very much.